What's going on, my super fam? Welcome back to the channel. So we've been having quite a number of videos regarding Luna 2 that's coming soon. Nefer is a character that you guys are very much excited for, and honestly I've been getting quite a lot of questions regarding her, especially regarding the question of I've been having limited Primo gems but still want to invest into Nefer. Should I be considering her C1, her signature weapons, or other investment, especially regarding Lauma? So if you enjoyed the video and do find it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, as it is a free way to support me and not miss out on my future Genshin videos. Nefer, as well as so many other amazing Not Cry character, is going to be coming soon, and I know that many of you are trying to get them. So if you're planning to swipe for pooling, then don't forget to check out Loot Bar. If you know me, I've been recommending you guys Loot Bar before, since you can always save almost a 25% on all of your top-ups. With over 100,000 orders and so many good reviews at this point, you can be sure that Loot Bar is trustworthy. Here you can see my order receipts of all of my top-ups that I have done. A 6.0 is the anniversary patch. Loot Bar is holding a special discount for the all-in-one bundle, and it's actually a pretty nice discount. Other than that, you will also be able to claim 1.5% coupon as well as 2.3% coupons for the rewards as well. So guys, be sure to check out Loot Bar through the link in my description, as it can be a great way for you to save your money, especially if you are topping up a large amount. Now, before we dive into investment priority, let's understand a bit about Nefer again. Because Nefer is an interesting Dendro character in that she is not just any other Dendro DPS character, she is a hyper carry in pretty much the truest sense. We're talking about a character who can contribute basically around 80 to 90% of the team total damage output, which is pretty nuts. So Nefer revolves around Lunar Bloom reaction, which is fundamentally different from a regular bloom. When you have Nefer or Lauma in your party, all blooms reactions are now converted to Lunar Blooms, and only specific attack from Nefer and Lauma will deal enhanced Lunar Bloom damage. Now, Nefer animations and rotation seems pretty elegant and beautiful, but it can be a bit skill based, because Nefer needs to use her elemental skill to enter Shadow Dance state, then she needs to perform up to 6 special charge attack per rotation. Each of these charge attack now summons a shade that deals the majority of her damage, and this is what scales with Lunar Bloom. So why would this matters regarding her investment is because Nefer is such a hyper carry that every investment directly into herself will translate into pretty massive DPS gains, which is why if you like Nefer, considering investing more into her directly is rather a good choice. And that's where we have the debate about whether or not you should prioritize getting her constellations or her signature during her first official banner, because, well, of course the first thing is that you're somebody who don't have the ability to get both, which is why we are asking this question. Now, regarding C1 and Nefer signature, in truth both of these actually provides quite similar DPS increase, where we're talking roughly around 20 to 25% damage boost each, but it obviously varies depending on your account. But Nefer C1, though, what it does is that it increases the base Lunar Bloom damage by 60% of her elemental mastery. Multiplying with her Veil of Falsehood stack essentially gives her shade attack significantly more punch. Now, her weapon though, it does look really good. Now, basically Nefer weapons when equipped onto her will be providing you 88% crit damage at level 90, extra 120 EM, as well as another 36% crit damage increase whenever you are using Nefer in her rotations, which is absolutely nuts of the amount of total crit value that it's actually providing to Nefer herself. However, again, contacts and your account situation do matter, because here's the thing: if you are using the craftable weapon, the Black Marrow Lantern, then you should prioritize the signature weapon first, because the gap is quite significant, as it can range roughly a 25 to a 30% damage increase over the craftable options. Now, if you already have a solid 5-star crit catalyst, however, like the Night Weaver looking glass of Lauma or the Thousand of Floating Dreams, then C1s actually becomes a bit more attractive and feasible because you are not missing out as much on a weapon slot. So yes, as we've been looking into it, at the current point we are seeing that a C1R0 Nefer performs quite similar to a C0R1 Nefer in raw DPS output. But overall, a weapon for Nefer herself will still provide more consistent performance across many different scenarios, and investing into Nefer's weapons generally will be the better choice because you can still use it in future potential characters. Now talking about Lauma then, do you actually need Lauma on Nefer's team and how big of a difference it would be? And I believe I've already discussed it quite a bit before regarding Lauma being onto Nefer's team, but again, Nefer still would love to have Lauma on her specific team just because the difference between you having Lauma and you don't is basically a pretty much 30% damage increase into Nefer team itself compared to a team without Lauma. So yeah, that's the thing about Nefer. It's kind of sad, but if you don't have Lauma already, her banner has already passed and I don't think she'll be coming back in anytime soon, at least around 2 to 3 patches down the road. But well, what can you actually do about it if your account already don't have Lauma but you still insist on having Nefer and want her to be powerful? Now honestly, here's the interesting thing is that if you do happen to have enough and try to get a Nefer at C1, you can somewhat compensate for a missing Lauma at the current point, as Nefer C1s does have quite a decent bit of increase to Nefer's DPS. So yes, for some reason if you skip Lauma, haven't been able to pull for her, or you don't like Lauma on a Nefer team for some reason, then investing into both C1 and her weapons is probably the way to go forward and wait for future investment on your account. So basically that's a bit of me going through the details of Nefer's investment. Here is going to be my personal investment roadmap for your more of a specific account and your choice, and something that I've been able to gather through my Discord server. If you haven't joined my Discord server, be sure to do so, as it's a very fun place to hang out. Now so scenario 1, if you have Lauma, then the priority would be having a Nefer C0 first, obviously. Then you can consider her signature, or obviously a C1, that would be your choice, but I would probably recommend you to try and get her signature more, as it is an overall better investment. Then after that, you can consider more of a C2 investment if you are going more deep into her. Scenario 2, if you don't have Lauma, then the priority is going to be trying to get a Nefer C1. Then the priority again would have to be getting Nefer C0 first, and then after that try to go both for her signature and her constellations. And then after that, you either wait for Lauma's rerun or wait for more information on Columbina, because there is a potential of Columbina will be buffing Nefer team quite significantly. Now scenario 3, if you are quite limited in budget but you still want Nefer, then get C0 Nefer. You can still use the Black Marrow Lantern. Then if you do have Nahida, build your Nahida, have her on a Nefer team. She will still be a very good supportive character on the Dendro team, and generally speaking I would still say that you will still be able to clear most of the content comfortably, because again, Genshin Impact isn't that hard of a game. So those I would say are my personal advice on what you guys should be thinking about whenever you are looking into Nefer's investment. I hope that the video have been helpful to you. If you do have any questions, leave it down in the comment section. I or some other lovely Genshin player will help you out. Again, if you're new to the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on my future Genshin videos. With that, I wish you a super day and I'll catch you on my next video.